What's up, baby? Today's show is sponsored by Southern New Hampshire University. Yeah, we talking about proper preparation. We're talking about trying to be better at life. How can we improve, right? Whether we're talking about just as an individual, how do we improve if we're talking about in the job space? I mean, whether we're talking about just all the different ways to be prepared for the next step, for that next task. Southern New Hampshire University and some of these online degree programs that they are offering. Come on, baby. You can't beat this. And they have super competitive low tuition rates that are, like I said, going to prepare you for whatever your next steps might be as it pertains to your professional career. It's not too late. I mean, shoot, what you waiting on? I mean, you're watching me, but what you waiting on? Come on, man. You see the link right there, right? snhu.edu/Arthur Moats. Tap in and go out here and get a chance to prepare yourself for greatness. But now it's time for regularly scheduled programming. Flow Grown Folk 20, shout out to Flow Grown Folk 20, says Justin Fields doesn't want to compete. He's a glorified running back. QBs get paid to throw the rock, not run it. He's the little engine that could not. Oh, man. Yikes. Yowzers. Woo chow. All right. Tell me how you really feel, Flow Grown Folk 20. All right. Respect. I can understand that stance. In terms of him not wanting to compete, I can see you feeling that way because of the reports of him wanting guarantees that he is going to either, be able to start or have a legitimate pathway to him being able to start. Me personally, I don't see it as him I don't see it as him not wanting to compete. I see it as him wanting a legitimate, fair leg in the competition. And that goes both ways. I feel like last year it was a competition. Was it a fair competition for him? No, I think that Coach T and the brass had their mind made up that Russ was QB1 and it was going to take Fields doing something Herculean to unseat him. It never happened, and that's why we never saw him be unseated. And I think for Justin Fields, his perception was, I did do that. I did show you that I can be the guy, and we were winning, and there wasn't a lot of reasons to pull me out the lineup. So when you pull a guy out the lineup, yeah, that you remember. And when it comes back time to negotiate, you bring that up. I know I did. You be like, hey, bro, I remember how y'all tried to do this at the front end. We saw how the results were. I'm not going for that again. I'd rather go sign over here. So the way that you go about finding those guarantees, some people want the verbal element of it. Some people want to go out there and say, man, make me a promise. James Harrison, right? Make me a promise, man. Coach T, man, communicate that to me. For some people, it's, put it in my money. All right. You ain't got to tell me I got a chance to compete with that contract looking like that. The numbers in my account are going to tell me how much you feel I'm legitimately a part of this competition. And for Justin Fields, I think that could be an approach as well for him. I don't think that it's necessarily him not wanting to compete. I just think it's just he wants to have a fair shot. He wants to feel like, man, I'm legitimately in this race and it's not just lip service. Because at times it is just lip service, man. And it can be very frustrating, man. But yeah, I don't think it's that Fields doesn't want to compete. I definitely don't perceive it that way. I do feel that it's just him wanting that assurance that, man, I'm not going to be here giving you my all, making these sacrifices, and it's in vain. Because that's the part that will make a player kind of lose their motivation or be really frustrated, with the way that things are going. But like I said, man, that's kind of how I see it with Fields. Now, in terms of everything else that you were bringing up about, the being more of a runner versus a thrower of the football, that's legitimate. And I think that was what he was trying to show he could evolve to this past season in those first 6 games. I think that was the big step forward for him to show that, man, I am evolving. I'm no longer just a runner or an athlete that plays quarterback. I'm a quarterback first. And that's the thing to me that will make me like him a lot more as he continues to develop more of that at the NFL level, where he's winning more with his arm versus his legs, where his mindset is more pass first versus let me use my legs to escape. It's the same thing when I look at Lamar Jackson and I've seen him develop It was like, man, he had that run where it was legs, legs, legs. Then it evolved. Josh Allen, big fan, right? It was legs, legs, legs. Then it evolved. Right now with Justin Fields, it's legs, legs, legs. We saw a glimpse of evolution, but now we need to see how much further it can go. But I don't feel like, you have to overpay for that right now. And you don't, because there are those questions of how much development it will have. And rightfully so, because as we said, this is not a rookie we're talking about. It's not a second-year player we're talking about. This is a guy that has a lot of tape out there, has had a lot of starts, and played in a lot of games at the NFL level. But at the same time, I still feel like this is a dude that you can win with. That was proven last year. This is also a guy that, to me, is competitive, does have that dog in him. And I just think that the way that it was worded about him wanting, some type of guarantee, some type of assurance, it's not that he doesn't want to compete. I just think that he doesn't want to feel like he's wasting his time and putting forth all this effort in vain. As competitors, you don't mind losing. I think that's the other big misconception for, players, this fear of losing. Man, we don't fear losing. You lose a lot. You don't fear failure. You fail a lot. That's how you become great. That's how you accomplish, insurmountable tasks or things that people deem impossible. You're going to fail a ton. It's no different than how you get to the NFL. You fail a lot going into the NFL, man. But when you get here, you look up, you like, bro, all right, we nice. We hooping, we balling, we doing what we're supposed to do. And when I think of Justin Fields, it's like, man, that dude didn't have to win and overcome so much, man. He ain't tripping on none of that. But he wants to feel like, man, I'm legit. He wants to feel like, yo, this is valid. It's not in vain. But he's definitely not worried about competing with anybody at this level, man. It's Justin Fields, man. But we will see, though. We will see how it all plays out, man. But I could for certain understand where you were coming from in terms of how you were perceiving that, man. From the heart, though, Jay. Or, excuse me, not Jay, Flow Grown. My bad on that.